In the top stories, 12 confirmed dead in Dominica, and that number is expected to rise. Hundreds of primary school teachers to be appointed, and Kierre Beckles fails to reach the 100-meter hurdles final. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, August 28, 2015. I'm Natasha Beckles. 12 people have been confirmed dead in Dominica, and the death toll is expected to rise following the flooding and mudslides brought on by Tropical Storm Erika. About 20 people are reportedly still missing, and Police Chief Daniel Carbon says an official death count will not be released until at least Saturday. While the entire island has been affected, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has expressed particular concern about the area of Petit Savant. That community was inaccessible for several hours, and it is there that many are missing and feared dead. Mr. Skerrit has estimated that repairing the country's damaged infrastructure will run into the tens of millions of dollars. Meanwhile, heavy rain and strong winds started to bear down on the Dominican Republic on Friday, and a state of emergency has been declared in Florida, where Erika is likely to pass from Sunday. Opposition leader Mia Mottley is urging Barbadians to lend their support to Dominica, even though Barbados is experiencing its own challenges. She made the call as she announced the establishment of a Dominica Children's Relief Fund. An account has been opened at Scotiabank with account number 455392, and the fund will be managed by a committee chaired by Attorney Junior Alsop. Ms. Mottley said a relief concert is also in the works, and in-kind donations will be accepted.
And just as we are facing difficult times back to school, now that they've gone through this in Dominica, is going to cause serious difficulties for them. And therefore, in whatever way, in some instances, people may want to donate, not money, but may want to donate, for example, books or geometry sets or things like that. I've asked Dr. Walcott to come with me because as General Secretary of the party, this is not a Barbados Labour Party effort, but we may have to use the Barbados Labour Party premises to collect donations from people until we can get other people on board with collection points. But we want to get the message out to Barbados. Dominica is still in the grips of facing a grim situation.
Meantime, Home Affairs Minister Adriel Brathwaite says government is not ignoring the plight of Dominica, but it has to ensure it makes an appropriate response. Speaking during an impromptu media briefing on Friday, he said government was awaiting a report from the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency to see exactly what was needed. He said one of the errors often made in disaster recovery is to assume what a country needs. Mr. Brathwaite said money has already been put aside by the Caribbean Development Bank, and government has placed its international partners on alert. Minister of Education Ronald Jones says more than 400 primary school teachers will be appointed by the end of next month, bringing the number of established posts to 1,631. Speaking during a media briefing on Friday, he said an additional 60 supernumerary posts will be added. Mr. Jones said these were teachers who had not been appointed prior to 2007 who will now be added to the established order. Mr. Jones also said 239 additional posts will be created once the Public Teachers Service Order is passed later in the year. The Men's Educational Support Association, or MESA, is calling on Barbadians to come to the aid of male victims of physical abuse. Secretary Irvin Carrington told a panel discussion boys are feeling the brunt of the displeasure from overburdened single mothers, and citizens need to come up with solutions to assist them.
Is that we as adults must come up with solutions to help stem this abuse. So if you could get it across to those who are rearing the boys, that they need to be there, both fathers and mothers. Boys have just, most boys that I've met in the last 3 years, about 43% of these boys have no relationship whatsoever with their fathers. None whatsoever. I mean, it sounds harsh, but it's a reality. And we will ask the question, or the question begged we ask.
Also speaking during the event at the Bank Hall Church of the Nazarene was UNICEF Children's Champion Faith Marshall Harris. She dismissed the view that Barbados is experiencing an explosion in child abuse. Instead, she suggested that more people are stepping up and reporting suspected cases.
I think that what was really happening is that there's a consciousness raising that has gone on, and people are now saying, we recognize abuse, we want to talk about it. And we've seen with some recent cases of that people are now prepared to say, no, I'm not going to accept the situation. Something is wrong here. I hope that spirit of reporting will become, stronger. I suspect it will. I think we've made that start.
The Barbados Workers Union has been petitioning government to offer more relevant courses under the National Insurance Scheme's Training Fund. General Secretary Tony Moore says retrenched workers are not interested in many of the programs.
Some of the courses that came under that plan were like needlework, clothing and textiles, things that don't have the kind of appeal. We believe that if workers are going to be looking to re-enter the labor market, courses that allow people to beef up their customer relationship skills, their IT skills as well, supervisory level courses as well, may be more meaningful and may be more appealing.
Ms. Moore conceded that other institutions are finding it difficult to link training with the needs of the workforce. However, she said the BWU's Labour College has launched online courses for the first time in industrial relations and safety and health, and is looking to expand its offerings. In sports, Barbados has failed to produce a medal or a finalist at the 15th World Athletics Championships in China. The last semi-finalist, Kierre Beckles, failed to make it to the final of the women's 100-meter hurdles. She finished fourth in the second semi-final in 12.90 seconds. Britain's Tiffany Porter won the race in 12.62 seconds. And finally, a western Pennsylvania couple who bought a neighboring vacant house because they feared it was a fire hazard turned out to be right. The house caught fire while they were at the county courthouse signing the deed. Bradley and Penny Mason bought the house, which was located just feet away from their home, with the intention of tearing it down. The first floor fire was quickly extinguished, but it has been deemed suspicious and is being investigated. And that's Nation News for Friday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your papers over the weekend or subscribe to our e-paper. And look out for the Weekend Buzz a little later. Thank you so much for joining us.